Field, you reckon?
Yeah, certainly. I think it always helps to have that National League South experience, to have played, if not with them, but against them. And hopefully he'll be really assured at this level, have played at this level. Obviously, an FA Trophy match presents a slightly different challenge today, but for long-term for Hampton and Richmond, it seems like a really good signing for someone with credentials at this level.
I fully agree with you. And obviously last Saturday we were at home here to Truro City, and Laura, you were good with the commentary for that game. I mean, just talk the fans through on Beaver TV. How did we get on in that game?
Yeah, so that was a good 2-1 win. I think we kind of came out in that first half, and it was pretty evenly balanced, I'd say. I think Truro City actually had more possession than you might expect and looked like they had some good chances, but we did go 1-0 ahead. We looked like we deserved to go 1-0 ahead, and then sadly in the second half they came out and scored almost within the first minute, I'd say, which was really disappointing. Then we went down to 10 men through an unfortunate red card, and you thought, you know, here we're playing for a draw a little bit here, but Hampton Richmond just didn't give up, and we were back to 2-1 before you knew it. And I just thought that showed the resilience of this team and just how good we are when we're up against it.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on there, Laura. And speaking of the red card, obviously that was for Rory Donaldson, who is not featuring this afternoon due to that red card. And there's no Sam Deadfield either. So Mel Gwinnett does make a couple of changes. So coming on from the bench from the St Albans game, Dan Wishart and Mason Bluefoot are in the starting lineup. And it's good to see Ben Seymour back in the team this afternoon, as he's on the bench, as he didn't feature against St Albans City. And it's great to see as well 3 academy players, Callum O'Keefe, Charlie George and Ollie Davies on the bench for Hampton and Richmond as well. So could we potentially see them coming on for Hampton and Richmond this afternoon? And then for our visitors, Macclesfield FC, who, as we all know, an ex-Football League side, but sadly I think they got liquidated and they had to rebuild the club again with the chairman, Robbie Savage, who sadly I don't think he is here today. But if Mr Savage, if you are tuning in, good afternoon, sir. Pleasure to have you if you are joining us on Beaver TV here. And compared to the last game last Saturday for Macclesfield, 2 changes for him. Lewis Fenson comes off from the bench, and so does Sam Heathcote, and dropping to the bench Alex Hurst, and also 3 new additions to the substitutes bench: Danny Simpson, Nathan Becker and Henry McNulty. I couldn't help but notice when the team news came out for our visitors that we do have a couple of familiar names, as I think we could say, for Macclesfield. We do have a certain Danny Simpson on the bench, who is, of course, an ex-Premier League champion with Leicester City, and he is here at the Beverley Stadium today. So could he potentially make an appearance here at the Beverley Stadium? That'll be something to say for Hampton and Richmond fans for sure. And also, that number 10, John Rooney, Laura. Would you like to explain to the fans on Beaver TV who John Rooney is?
Yeah, I think he has a particularly familiar surname, and that is for no coincidence. He is the brother of a Wayne, I think. And yeah, interesting to see how he does. Did you say he'd scored an overhead kick? So maybe that's a family thing.
Yes, he certainly. Yeah, he comes from good stock. Obviously, the Rooneys are very well known in football, as we all know. But yes, in their last fixture on Saturday, I did have a little look at the highlights of Macclesfield. The goal scorers, Kane Drummond and John Rooney. Kane Drummond did a lovely little lob over the keeper, and then John Rooney did a bicycle kick to put themselves 2 goals up as they came away victors in there. And also, I think we have to mention as well, the manager of Macclesfield SC is a certain Alex Bruce. And again, Laura, would you like to tell the viewers on Beaver TV who Alex Bruce is?
Yeah, son of Steve Bruce, I think. He's a former Hull City player. Maybe one of the most impressive games that he starred in was the FA Cup final versus Arsenal, when Hull City did, of course, go 2-0 ahead before being pegged back to 3-2 in extra time for Arsenal to take the win in that game. But yeah, certainly good footballing stock in this squad.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So this is going to be a real tricky fixture, I think, for Hampton and Richmond as they come up against a Macclesfield side who are obviously 1 step below Hampton and Richmond, but are certainly looking to get another promotion, as Macclesfield, since they restarted the club, have had back-to-back promotion, so they're looking to get themselves back in the National League North if they can. And I think at this point it's probably worth, as we are in the trophy this afternoon, just to take a look at our visitors and how they find themselves here in the 5th round. So with Macclesfield being a step below, they started off the competition in the 3rd qualifying round, where they beat Hanley Town 1-0 away, who are in step 8 of the English pyramid system, so 1 step below Macclesfield. They then got themselves to the 1st qualifying qualifying round where they won 4-1 at home to Halzowen Town, and then the next game, the second qualifying round, they took on Alfreton Town in the National League North, and they beat them 2-1 in that one. And then they found themselves playing in the third round against Curzon Ashton away, also in the National League North, where they beat them 2-0. And obviously the biggest game they had in that cup run was at home to Dorking Wanderers, who are obviously in the National League, and they absolutely trashed them 5-0. So, Laura, you know, the run they've gone on in this cup is really something to be applauded. And this afternoon, I think, do you agree, this could be a bit of a tricky game for Hampton and Richmond? Yeah, certainly. I don't think Macclesfield will present an easy challenge in any sense of the word. And they've certainly had some really good fixtures in there, some hard teams to play here on this run. And none of them will have presented a particularly easy match for Macclesfield either, and I think certainly that 5-0 win at Dorking Wanderers, you do really think they have a giant killing in them, but not a giant killing, but an upset in them, let's say. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And obviously we must talk about how Hampton and Richmond got here. So Hampton and Richmond obviously got the win away at Cray Valley Paper Mills, and then we went to Southend United, where we won on penalties with that own goal at the very last minute that meant Hampton and Richmond could stay in the competition to take it to penalties. And then, of course, we then went all the way up north to play Hartlepool United, and which also went to penalties, and we came out as victors in that. And it's that man who's just walking onto the bench now, Ben Seymour, that got the last penalty to send us through to the 5th round, which is where we find ourselves here at TW12 this afternoon as Hampton and Richmond take on Macclesfield. So Hampton and Richmond obviously have had a good cup run themselves, Laura, and then Southend United and Hartlepool United, two really difficult games against two really good sides with a lot of EFL pedigree. Yeah, certainly. It's been a really good run, really impressive form from Hampton and Richmond, and often to come back from behind in those two games to that secure the draw to get the penalties. And I feel quite privileged to be alongside the dedicated Hampton and Richmond commentator today. Oh, thank you. For the FA Trophy. Oh, thank you. No, I must admit, I've been very fortunate as I've followed Hampton and Richmond's journey in the FA Trophy. So it's an absolute pleasure to be here today. And obviously we hope this is going to continue, Laura. We hope we're going to find ourselves in the quarter-finals where Hampton and Richmond could possibly get one step closer to Wembley. So, not too long till kick-off now. And if we just look at the Hampton and Richmond team this afternoon, obviously just mentioned there are a couple of changes, Laura. Just looking at that lineup, obviously, Tope Fadahunsi on his 1-month loan had a really good, impressive game against Truro City, and I also thought he did very well against St Albans on Tuesday night. How has he impressed you so far? Oh, I think he's been really impressive. I think it can often be quite hard when you come into a team new. They've well established as a team, and you're kind of trying to assert yourself. But I think he's slotted in so naturally, and just looked really promising and really positive when he's been on the ball, and obviously got that goal against Truro City, which was great to see, and hopefully there'll be many more of those. I hope so, I really do. So we're just coming up till kick-off now as the players' tunnel's just been extended, as we're hopefully going to see the players come out very soon. Laura, I was a bit worried. I've just been watching the weather all week, and the rain really has been coming down, obviously, since Tuesday night when we were hosting St Albans here, and I was a little bit concerned that this game might have been called off due to the weather, but thankfully the Hampton and Richmond ground staff and everybody at the club has put in such a massive effort to get this game on this afternoon. And also I thought I would just like to mention as well, the owners, a really nice touch actually for the travelling Macclesfield fans, put some money behind the bar at the World's End pub just along the road here from the Beverley Stadium, just as a nice little welcoming gift. So thank you very much to the owners for doing that. So moments till kick-off here. We've got 4 minutes to go as Hampton and Richmond are in the 5th round here of the Isuzu FA Trophy as we host Macclesfield FC, who will be hoping themselves to go back up north with themselves in the quarter-finals, but hopefully Hampton and Richmond will be changing that and they will be putting themselves through to the quarter-finals themselves. So obviously, if we look at the form of Macclesfield FC as well, the last 5 games, they've won the last 4 and they've drawn 1 game as well, and they've only lost 1 game in the last 5 as well. So they're in fantastic form. They sit 6th in the Northern Premier Division, so in a very similar position to Hampton and Richmond, just a step below. So this could be they may be the step below, Laura, but this could potentially be almost a... On paper, you would like to think that Hampton and Richmond should have this one covered, but they may be a step below. But obviously with those back-to-back promotions, I think it's fair to say Macclesfield, they're looking to try and do one on us today.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think Macclesfield potentially present a different challenge to your traditional step below side, in the sense that they are a team looking to reassert their position. I'm sure they have plenty of backing to do that, and obviously, like you said, they've got that investment that we've seen in the back-to-back promotions, so I think it will be a really, really tough challenge, and I think it wouldn't be unusual to potentially see them in the National League North next season. Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised, to see them in the National League North. And another, and obviously, how can we forget as well, Robbie Savage is the chairman of Macclesfield FC. So I mentioned at the start of the broadcast that he's not here this afternoon, but again, Robbie Savage, if you are watching, it's a pleasure to have you with us. And hopefully the Beavers will be sending themselves through to the quarter-finals. And obviously, a few of you Beavers fans may be aware that there is no Josh Anafawos in the lineup this afternoon, as there's no injury concerns there with him, but obviously where he's come from, Dover Athletic, who featured in the FA Trophy, he is cup-tied, so he is not in the team this afternoon. So here we go then, as the players come out at the Beverley Stadium, as we will shortly be getting underway here in the FA Trophy 5th round. Just to take you through the team news once again, so for our visitors, Macclesfield, starting number 1, Dylan Berry, number 2, Trey Pemberton, number 3, Brandon Lee, number 4, Lewis Fenson, the captain, number 5, Drew Baker, number 6, Paul Dawson, number 7, Neil Kengi, number 8, Lauren Mendy, number 9, Sam Heathcote, number 10, John Rooney, and number 11, Kane Drummond. And on the bench for the visitors, number 12, Adrian Tebow, number 13, Connor O'Keefe, number 14, Alex Hurst, number 15, Luke Murphy, number 16, Danny Simpson, number 17, Nathan Becker, and number 23, Henry McNulty. And for Hampton and Richmond this afternoon, number 19, Adam Desbois, number 4, Dean Inman, number 7, Rob Hall, the captain, number 10, Jake Gray, number 13, Tope Fadahunsi, number 14, Sam Dreyer, number 15, Dan Wishart, number 25, Isaac Pickblado, number 26, Mayfield, number 34, Dominic Ravan, and number 36, Charlie O'Connell. And on the bench, number 9, Ben Seymour, number 17, Connor Curran-Brown, number 18, James Comley, number 20, Callum O'Keefe, number 23, the new signing, Bailey Brown, number 16, Charlie George, and number 1, Ollie Davies. So, moments till kick-off, and obviously Hampton and Richmond, twice in this cup competition, Laura, have got through on penalties. I mean, would you like to see penalties here this afternoon? Would you like to think Hampton and Richmond could hopefully get this done in 90 minutes?
I'd like to get it done in 90 minutes, I think, for the stress alleviation. But we have seen that Hampton and Richmond are good on penalties. They do well when they're on penalties. So, you know, I'd back us to take it on penalties. So I don't think that'd be the end of the world, but I would prefer to get it done in the full 90, as I think any football fan might attest to. Yes,
I'm fully with you. And obviously those that may on Beaver TV that may have been joining us for the penalty shootouts at Hartlepool and Southend United, I was very animated in in those shootouts, and I am just about recovered and ready for this fixture. And I mean, goodness, in a way I really hope we don't go to penalties, because I don't think I can live. You'll have to take over from me, Laura, because I will be on the floor requiring another heart transplant. I've already had 2 so far this campaign. Hopefully I won't have to get another one. But here we are at the Beverley Stadium as we're moments from kick-off now. And obviously, of course, to mention the referees as well. The referee this afternoon, Wayne Cartmell, and his assistant Stephen Scott and Kieran Barlow. So, Hampton Richmond fans absolutely packed round the ground. I must say, Laura, this is a pretty big crowd here this afternoon, and it's great to see all these Macclesfield fans here this afternoon. I mean, yeah, this is probably the busiest you've seen the Beverley, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It's certainly a very, very big attendance, which I'm excited to hear the numbers, I think. But, yeah, absolutely getting behind the team in the FA Trophy.
So we're just about to get underway here. And it will be Macclesfield. That'll be getting us underway. Macclesfield, our hosts, in a white in the white kit with gold motif, and Hampton and Richmond in their navy blue home kit as we've just got underway. As Macclesfield look to go for a strong start, as they're looking straight away to find number 9, Sam Heathcote. But the ball goes straight out of play for a throw-in to Dominic Ravan in that part of the pitch, which is going to pose potentially a bit of a problem this afternoon, Laura. As you can see already, Dominic Ravan is just trying to wipe the ball clean there.
Yeah, certainly that corner has taken probably the worst of the rainfall. I think just off the pitch is probably the worst part, and that ball's just skidding into that there.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tricky affair there. I think we might have to get a couple of towels on that side just to clean the ball for every time we get a throw-in. So already Macclesfield looking for a strong start there. That's Pemberton just looking to cross that ball into the box, but Hampton and Richmond just dealing with that well. Dan Wishart's there, just coming under a bit of pressure there from Kane Drummond. And already the ball goes out of play for a corner straight away for Macclesfield. So Macclesfield looking to start really strong here. First set piece for Macclesfield.
I think Macclesfield certainly looked to take the initiative early, and just Hampton and Richmond just need to weather this storm in the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, speaking of storms, there was potential forecasts of heavy rain here this afternoon, but it looks like it's going to hold out for us here, as it will be the number 10, John Rooney, brother of Wayne Rooney, of course, taking this corner kick on the far side. That corner ball is swung in, looking for a Macclesfield player, but it goes straight over everybody. It's come out to the number 7, Kengi. Kengi's got O'Connell still, and that ball's whipped straight into the box, looking to find a Macclesfield player, but again it goes straight through. It's with Rooney. Rooney back into the box, but Fadahunsi doing his defensive duties there to clear. It's back with Pemberton now. Pemberton out to Dawson. And Wishart again, just trying to head that ball away, but it's still with Macclesfield on the edge of the penalty box. That ball's come in. Tope Fadahunsi is there to retrieve, and Hampton Richmond look to try and bring in Mason Bloomfield here. But that's good tracking back there from Pemberton. Dawson looking to find Drummond on the far side. This is a strong start from Macclesfield, and that ball is going to come straight into the box there, but Dean Inman straight away putting that out of play for another Macclesfield throw. Laura, Macclesfield on a really strong start here for the moment.
Yeah, certainly. I think they've had chances down the wings and the run of the wings, but what I would say is that Hampton and Richmond have often been first to meet that ball in the box and have done well to clear so far.
Yes, that throw-in is taken quickly. Macclesfield still have that on the far side, looking to bring the ball into the box, looking to find Drummond. Drummond just goes for the head there, but it goes out, and it'll be a goal kick to Hampton and Richmond. So, Laura, if you're playing in a cup game like this, obviously there won't be a replay here. We will have a victor today. Would you want to start strong here, or would you want to try and allow the visitors to have a good go at us first, but just settle into the game first, possibly?
I think when you're at home, you just want to get the sense of the opposition, settle into the game a little bit, and hopefully try to build up from there, because ultimately I think when you're at home you want to take control of the game, and at the moment you've got a Macclesfield team that want an early goal, to not let them get tired, because I think the crowd does really help when that happens.
Yeah, so Adam Daybois just going for that long goal kick, and he finds Mason Bloomfield now on the far side, but he's come under a little bit of pressure there. Pip Blado just gets that ball out of play, and it will be a throw into Hampton and Richmond on the far side. Hampton and Richmond kicking from left to right towards the Keith Hussey stand. It'll be Dan Wishart with the throw-in on the far side. Macclesfield fans really coming in their numbers, and this is the second time this season Hampton and Richmond have done a segregation for the away side due to the large numbers that have turned up here today. So that throw-in's gone right into the box for Bloomfield. Back to Pip Blado. Pip Blado looks across that ball in, and it's Pemberton again who just blocks that out for another throw to Hampton and Richmond. And it'll be Dan Wishart to take once again. Dan Wishart just trying to look at his options to get this one right as he finds Mason Bloomfield very well in the penalty box. No rush for Hampton and Richmond here. Wishart's going to try and cross that ball in. Goes out to O'Connell. O'Connell just stretches to get that one. Comes under a bit of pressure there from Rooney. But this is Wishart now. He crosses that ball in, looking to find Fadahunsi, but straight in the hands of the number 1, Dylan Berry. Dylan Berry, for Beavers fans, may know that he was on loan at St Albans City last season, as he was in the fixture last season, last January, as Hampton and Richmond were away to St Albans City there. And Dylan Berry was the man behind the sticks for St Albans City, who is a loanee from Norwich City's under-21 side. So clearly a terrific player behind the sticks, as he's on loan from championship side Norwich City. So the ball is back with Macclesfield now. It's with Drummond. Drummond out to Dawson. Dawson finds Drummond again. Drummond's charging into the box, going to cross that ball in, and Adam Desbois safely collects that one. Again, Laura, Macclesfield, really good start for him.
Yeah, certainly. I think Drummond has some really good pace down that right-hand side, and he seems to be a threat already.
Adam Desbois with the goal kick here as Hampton and Richmond look to go long. And I do think as well, Laura, with the rain we've had, I think we are going to see a few slips this afternoon on the pitch. Already I could see as the ball's crossed into the box, you know, you can see the mud kicking up. It's going to be a messy affair here, pitch-wise, this afternoon. So it's going to be a throw-in for Hampton and Richmond on the far side, just over the halfway line. Dan Wishart to take this one. Hampton and Richmond not in any rush to take this, as they want to try and nullify this Macclesfield pressure. So that's with Pit Blado now, back to Wishart. Wishart to O'Connell. Sam Dreyer now in the centre circle. He switched that out wide to Dominic Ravan. Ball goes out for Hampton and Richmond throw. Dominic Ravan takes that one nicely to O'Connell, to Jake Gray. Gray back to O'Connell. Wishart now. Wishart, oh, he finds Tope Fadahunsi there. Bit of a heavy touch from Fadahunsi as Macclesfield clear it out for another throw to Hampton and Richmond. And it'll be that man, Dominic Ravan, again to take. Also another famous name on the bench, well, on the management team for Macclesfield. Phil Barsley, Premier League player, notably with Burnley last time out in the Premier League. And he's the assistant to Alex Bruce. Oh, it's Rob Hall now. Rob Hall's coming forward here. He's on the edge of the box, and that's a very good challenge there by Brandon Lee. As Rob Hall, as we know, has got fantastic footwork. But Trey Pemberton now is charging forward on the far side, but damn, Wishart just gets there first. And that was Paul Dawson. He just switches the play there to find Neil Kengi. Kengi just switched that into the... Oh, he's looking to find the number 9, Sam Heathcote. And that is a terrific ball in. And Heathcote gets a lovely little touch on it, looking to try and put it in the top bins of the net there. But Adam Desbois, excellent save, Laura.
Yeah, absolutely superb save from Adam Desbois there. I think it was quite close to him, so he didn't have much time to react, and he leaps up well to just tip that over the bar. I don't think Dreyer was particularly expecting that cross at that time, so it beats him, and Desbois is there to save the day.
Corner's taken short out to Drummond. Rooney just switches that one into the box, and Dean Inman heads that one away, but it's still with Macclesfield. They go for the shot, and Inman's head was there again. It's now with Mendy. Mendy crosses that one into the box, looking to find a Macclesfield player. Too much on the header though. Sam Dreyer is going to try and clear this one away, but he's got Mendy to deal with right by the corner flag on the near side. Mendy out to Lee. Lee again crosses that ball in, looking to find a Macclesfield player, but it's safely in the hands of Adam Desbois. Oh, Macclesfield are doing a really good job so far, Laura, aren't they?
Yeah, certainly. They've looked really dangerous when they do attack. I think most of their attacks are coming down the wing, but Bloomfield is up the other end. Yes, he is. Bloomfield's looking to come forward himself. He finds Pit Blado. Pit Blado out to Rob Hall, to Bloomfield. Is Bloomfield going to try and drive one and get a shot away? Brandon Lee is there to clear. Throw into Hampton and Richmond. I think the two teams certainly have very different styles when they go forward. Macclesfield using the wings a lot, and Hampton and Richmond liking to use that down the middle. Ravan finds Jake Gray with that throw-in, but it's turned over and Dawson tries to clear. But he's come under a lot of pressure there, and Jake Gray wins it back. Gray now, Fadahunsi on the edge of the box. Is he going to try and get a shot away? Oh, he just tried to... He thought he saw the run of Jake Gray coming into the penalty box, but Jake Gray didn't quite get there, and it's gone out for a Macclesfield goal kick. We're starting to see elements of that Hampton and Richmond who can string passes together really quickly in those congested zones, and they're doing that really well around the edge of the box at the moment.
Yeah, Hampton and Richmond have been very threatening attacking-wise this season. Obviously finding themselves currently in the playoffs positions and obviously going on that fantastic run, which sadly came to an end away at Braintree in January. So Hampton and Richmond certainly have a real threat going forward. So Berry gets us underway with a goal kick, and Dreyer just puts that one out for a throw into Macclesfield. And it's going to be Brandon Lee, bang on the halfway line here on the near side, just beneath Laura and I in the gantry. And that throw is met by Dominic Ravan. Pip Blado finds Fadahunsi. Fadahunsi coming under a bit of pressure, but he finds Rob Hall. Rob Hall has got Brandon Lee there, and he's just pushed off the ball there, but good challenge by Brandon Lee as the play's turned over, back with Macclesfield now. Trey Pemberton out to Drummond. Just looking at that formation for Hampton and Richmond this afternoon, Laura, we're looking like we're playing 4 at the back here this afternoon.
Yeah, I was thinking this. I think it's a 4-3-2-1, potentially 4-3-3 in attack.
Yeah, and we've got very strong attack here with Fadahunsi just trying to come forward now here, but he's got Drew Baker to deal with, who passes that straight back to the number 1, Dylan Berry. Isaac Pitblano now to Jake Gray. Gray's got a few options here, and he goes for Fadahunsi on the near side. Fadahunsi. Dominic Ravan. A switch to the middle to O'Connell. O'Connell, the Peterborough United loanee there. Oh, he just tried to pass that towards Fadahunsi, but just goes beyond him, and it's now back with Macclesfield. Oh, good interception by O'Connell. It's back with Hampton and Richmond again. Jake Gray. O'Connell to Bloomfield. Bloomfield out to Rob Hall. That's a good little ball. Rob Hall's in the penalty box now, but again, he's got Brandon Lee there. He's managed to keep him off. It's gone, oh, it just fizzes across the box. And Fadahunsi had the opportunity just to put on a touch on it, to put it in the back of the net, but it's gone out for a goal kick to Macclesfield. That was close, Laura.
Such a tempting ball there, played in by Rob Hall, and it looked like it was on a plate to be poked in at that near post, but I think Fadahunsi was just on the wrong foot to get on top of that, and sadly it just evaded the goal, but it's certainly potentially one of the best chances we've had in this match so far.
Yeah, that was definitely, I think, the best chance the Beavers have had this afternoon to try and put their noses in front in this Isuzu FA Trophy 5th round cup tie. So for those of you that have just joined us with just over 12 minutes gone here at the Beverley Stadium, it's Hampton and Richmond 0, Macclesfield 0. Both sides having opportunities, but Macclesfield looking like they're having the stronger start. But this is Dominic Ravan now on the near side, charging forward towards the corner flag. He comes under a bit of pressure there from Neil Kengi, who just puts it out for a throw to Hampton and Richmond. It's taken quickly. Jake Gray now switches that to O'Connell in the centre of the park, to Wishart now on the other side. Wishart switches that, but it's Macclesfield that win the ball there. Mendy. Mendy out to Kingney. Back to Mendy. Mendy's got Jake Gray to deal with though, and he switches the play over to Pemberton. Trey Pemberton just finds Kane Drummond. I think it's fair to say this afternoon, Laura, 2 players I think we do need to watch out for, Hampton and Richmond wise, is the number 10 John Rooney and the number 11 Kane Drummond. Obviously both getting those goals last Saturday. Prolific goal scorers up front. Yeah,
certainly, and I think we've already seen some threat from both of them, to be honest, but Kane Drummond especially with his pace on the far flank.
Certainly, and this is Pemberton now. He's just brought down there by Mason Bloomfield. It will be a free kick to the Silkmen, as I think Pemberton's just down on the floor at the moment. He's just holding his head here. Hopefully that's not concussion related, because obviously with head injuries like that, the physio does have to come out and assess straight away. The referee, I think, is just checking to make sure he's okay, just to double check if it is a head injury or not. But he is going to get up here, I think, Laura.
Yeah, it looks like he's okay. I feel like it was potentially more a fear of a cut than a kind of impact injury. By the looks of it, he was just checking for blood on the back of his head, but I feel like it was only going down in the challenge rather than any real contact, so hopefully he'll be okay.
Yeah, we don't want any bloodshed here this afternoon at the Beverley, but we would like to see Hampton and Richmond continuing on this FA Trophy journey. Oh, and actually I think the physio is just going to come over and have a little look, so I think this might be potentially a little bit of bloodshed, Laura, as you just touched on there. So whilst Tree Pemberton just gets checked out, Macclesfield having very much the stronger start, Laura, but Hampton and Richmond are just doing enough to deal with their pressure.
Yeah, and I do think we have seen Hampton and Richmond get back into this game a little bit in the past few minutes. Certainly Macclesfield with a more positive start. I think they did show some real threat in those opening stages, and I think we'll have to watch out for their wing play a little bit more. They've managed to get in behind a couple of times, but certainly Hampton and Richmond now getting on the ball a bit more, getting a bit more reassured when they are in possession. Yeah,
they certainly look very threatening from the flanks, as you say there, Laura. And of course, we'll take this moment to say thank you very much to everyone tuning in on Beaver TV this afternoon. And if you are tuning on Beaver TV, if you look down in the link below, you can subscribe to our newsletter, which obviously is the first place you will find any news Hampton and Richmond related before it goes out on any of the socials.
I think we are just going through the concussion protocol, which is good to see. Just having that checked out, whether that is a brain injury or not, but hopefully.
Yeah, the concussion protocol is obviously quite recent in terms of the game in football in this country, and I mean, I think it is really good to see that, because obviously, you know, concussion is a really serious topic matter, and obviously we would never like to see any player have to go off injured like that.
Yeah, for sure. It's really important that that does happen. I think for too long, probably, the culture's been a bit more just like, play on, you'll be fine. And it's good to see that we're starting to see those protocols come in. Hopefully he'll be okay to return to the field of play, but
yeah,
he needs to.
I think he's just on the sidelines at the moment as, oh, that's a really good free kick just taken there and looking to try and find Kane Drummond. Dan Wishart read that very well, and it goes out for a throw into Macclesfield on the far side. Very close to the corner flag here. And it's going to be the number 11, Kane Drummond, to take this throw in. So Macclesfield keeping the pressure on the Beavers at the moment. Kane Drummond just instructing the players to go long here into the box as he looks to go for that long throw, and it's gone out for a goal kick for Hampton and Richmond.
Yeah, I think there's certainly protest there from Sam Heathcote that he thought it went off the Hampton and Richmond defender, but really well defended there, and hopefully into the safety of Alan Desbois.
Yes, and again, I know I've already mentioned it, but I will say it again, credit to the ground staff at Hampton and Richmond for allowing this game to continue, as on the top left-hand side, you can't see it on the camera, ladies and gentlemen, but there is a particularly wet area that was a major concern yesterday, but it has been rectified, and obviously we are playing here this afternoon as Adam Desbois' kick goes really long, and he finds Mason Bloomfield. That's a really good touch on the edge of the box there, but Mendy just puts it out of play, and I think it was just a call. Just a call for offside there, I think, potentially. So Dylan Berry going to take this one.
If it wasn't offside, it was some really good footwork from Mason Bloomfield there, just to take that ball long down onto the ground and take it past a couple of defenders.
Indeed it was. Checking your attention, Laura. There you go. Your eyesight is better than mine, as Dylan Berry gets us underway. Sam Dreyett, really good first touch there. They're going to go long, and Brandon Lee just slips up there and allows the ball to go out for a Hampton and Richmond throw here on the near side. Rob Hall to take. Takes that quickly to Fada Huntsy. Rivan to try and find Mason Bloomfield, but instead it's with the Silkman, Dawson. Out to Pemberton, who has come back on now. Back to Dawson. Macclesfield also opting for a back four, it would seem, Laura.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting tactical one. I think they're playing a 4-2-3-1 today, so slightly inverted midfield to Hampton and Richmond.
And that is with Brandon Lee now. Back to Mendy. Macclesfield just coming under a little bit of pressure as Rob Hall is really applying that pressure onto Mendy, driving him back towards his keeper Dylan Berry, but he just turns himself out of Rob Hall there as Macclesfield look to try and come forward here. This is Kingney now. Back to Baker. Baker to Fensom, the captain, of course. Rooney. Rooney to Pemberton on the far side. Oh, that's a good little 1-2 there. And this is Kane Drummond on the edge of the box here. He's got to try and get around Dean Inman, and he does, and that's crossed into the box. Looking to find Kingney. Is still pinging around in the box here. But Jake Gray is there to get it out. And here come Hampton and Richmond. Rob Hall's just charging onto that. Great challenge by Rob Hall, but the play is turned over. Back with Macclesfield, a little bit too much on it from Baker. And it goes out for a goal kick to Hampton and Richmond.
Yeah, once again, Macclesfield looking to threat down those wings and just beating Dean Inman at the far side there to get that cross in, and luckily cleared very well by Hampton and Richmond in the end.
Yeah, Hampton and Richmond keeping themselves in the tie at the moment, as we've just had over 20 minutes gone here, and it's still level pegging here at the Beverley Stadium. Adam Desbois is going to go for another long goal kick option here. I think he's looking to try and pick out Mason Bloomfield if he can, but it will be Baker that gets to the head first, and this is Rooney. Pemberton going for that long ball, looking to find Heathcote. Yeah, just to go back, Laura, to that chance they had not too long ago with Heathcote there, when he just put that ball to the just beneath the bar, and Adam Desbois just managed to save that. He does look like a really threatening striker, doesn't he?
Yeah, certainly. He's really tall, really big presence up front, and certainly looks like one of those poachers that you just don't want in and around your box.
Pemberton just tries to switch the play to find Kingney, but too much on it. It goes out for a throw into Hampton and Richmond. Dominic Ravan will be taking this one. Takes that short to Gray. Oh, Mendy was quick to read that, but O'Connell wins that one back, and it just goes out of play there for a throw-in to the Silkman again. Brandon Lee to take the throw-in right on the halfway line beneath Laura and I in the gantry. To Baker. Baker to Fensom. Fensom out to Pemberton. To Drummond. Into Dawson. Back to Fensom again. Macclesfield just trying to pass the ball around here and not let Hampton and Richmond have a sniff of it. That's out to Pemberton again on the far side. Fensom again. Just switches that to Lee. Macclesfield just taking their time here, just waiting for that right opportunity to pounce forward, but Hampton and Richmond holding their shape very well, and Fadahunsi just intercepts Pemberton there, and the ball goes out of play for a Macclesfield throw. So Macclesfield, in this passage of play here, just struggling to break down Hampton and Richmond, Laura.
Yeah, certainly. I think they've potentially taken a little bit of a step back and just looking to obtain some bit of possession, a bit of control of the match themselves, but they're finding it hard to break down a settled Hampton and Richmond. Oh,
that's a good ball in, looking to find Kingney there, but Dreyer just clears the lines and goes out for a throw into Macclesfield. Macclesfield are certainly answering a lot of questions of Hampton and Richmond's defence, but the Beavers are having the answers at the moment.
Yeah, I think it looked like there was a bit of space there in behind, but Hampton and Richmond set up really well to deal with that.
So it's back out to Baker now, to Fensom. The two centre-backs there just pegging the ball between each other, waiting for that moment to come forward. Fensom just switches that, looking to find Kingney, but there's too much on it. It goes out of play for another throw-in right by that wet patch, and Dominic Ravan will be taking that throw-in.
It's really good play defensively for Hampton and Richmond, just to have the discipline to sit in that press and force that mistake from Macclesfield.
Pip Blado just brings that ball along, looking to find Fadahunsi, but it's Rob Hall tries to intercept that, and O'Connell's done the same, but O'Connell's just slipped there, which has allowed Macclesfield to get back on the ball here. Well, that's a good deflection there from Jake Gray, as the ball was trying to clear up front, but Jake Gray got in the way of it. But Macclesfield looking to come forward here now, and Heathcote's got Dean Inman to deal with. That was just a little nudge in the back by Heathcote, and it'll be a free kick to Hampton and Richmond. I think Dean Inman is just saying to the referee there, yeah, keep an eye out for that, Sam Heathcote, because I think that's not the first time he's done that.
Yeah, potentially a little bit of frustration starting to show there from Heath, that not had the chances that he might have wanted in the past few minutes. Yeah, just a bit of shove on Dean Inman when he's in mid-flight.
And I think it's fair to say, Laura, obviously with the pitch being so boggy and a bit slippery, I think a few pushes here could cause a couple of slips, which might potentially lead to some attacking moments for either side. So that is something to certainly keep an eye out on. So that free kick will be taken by Adam Desbois. Looking to find Bloomfield. Touch too much on it, and Mendy heads that one away. Kegney. But Bloomfield wins that one back, and that's a challenge by Mendy there. The challenge from Mendy is seen. Free kick here, virtually by the corner flag here, and we've got the captain, Jake Gray, and Rob Hall standing over this one. We know, of course, Laura, Rob Hall and Jake Gray, both terrific from set pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. A really threatening position for this, and Mason Bloomfield in the box, which you always love to see.
So who will be taking this one for the Beavers? Either be Gray or Rob Hall standing over this one. So good opportunity here for the Beavers. That's whipped in by Rob Hall, looking to find a head of a Beaver. And it's come out to O'Connell, he goes for the shot. And he drives it just over the bar, but it's a corner to Hampton and Richmond. First corner here for Hampton and Richmond, Laura. So this is a good opportunity for the Beavers to try and get themselves in front.
Yeah, certainly, and I've been given a box for a little bit of extra height so I can actually see that corner.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, you've got a nice little bit of elevation there. Apologies if I was blocking your view there. So that corner is whipped in by Rob Hall, looking for a Beaver. But it just goes straight over for a throw-in to Hampton and Richmond. Thank you very much, Mark. Just pushing me back into the camera line there. I'm being very active here.
I think that first opportunity I think it did go to Mason Bloomfield in the end, looked really promising. I think he did get his head in it, but it kind of rebounded out straight away from a Macclesfield player. But really good play from Hampton and Richmond at the moment. So
Wishart's going to take this throw, and I think he's going to try and potentially trying to throw that in the box, but instead he goes to Jake Gray, who's on the outside of the box. He goes for the shot, Gray. Again, just drives that one a little bit over the bar there, so that goes straight out for a goal kick to the Silkmen.
Get the feeling that Jake Gray might have been practicing those shots in training. I've seen him attempt a couple of those in the past couple of matches, and hopefully we'll see one of those go in soon. Yeah, we definitely will. I think Jake Gray has got a lovely right foot on him just to whip those balls into the top left and right hand corners. But sadly came to no avail that time round. Got a ball change here, just looking a bit flat on the old one. Yeah, I think obviously Jake Gray's power he's put through that one has just meant that he's deflated the ball. So 27 minutes gone here at the Beverley Stadium. It is Hampton and Richmond 0, Macclesfield 0. Again, thank you very much to everyone that's tuning in on Beaver TV, as we hope to see Hampton and Richmond qualify to the quarter-finals of the Isuzu FA Trophy here. So that goal kick met the head of Rob Hall, and that's gone straight back to Adam Desbois now, as Desbois just quickly looks to find Fadahuntsi. Fadahuntzi's charging down onto that ball. Is he going to keep it in? He just about does. Good pace there from Fadahuntsi, as that's down by the corner flag now. He's got a couple of Macclesfield players to deal with here, and Gray goes to try and chip that ball in, but it's going to be another corner for Hampton and Richmond. Certainly gaining a bit of momentum here at the Bev, and it's great to see. I think we've certainly built our way into this game, and now hopefully seeing dividends. Yes, Hampton and Richmond looking to capitalise on this pressure in the last few moments here. And again, it's Rob Hall and Gray standing over this. I've got my money on it being Rob Hall swinging it into the box, which he does, looking to find Bloomfield, but it's headed away by the Silkmen. But O'Connell retrieves, and O'Connell's got Kegney to deal with, and he's just pushed in the back there, and that is a free kick to Hampton and Richmond. O'Connell did really well there. I think he slightly misjudged a pass, which got charged down in a slightly dangerous position, but he did really well to get his body between the player and the ball and just force that foul. And Alex Bruce, the manager of the Silkmen, was obviously disagreeing here with the referee and had a little chat with the fourth official here. So Jake Gray standing over this one, right on the halfway line, underneath the gantry here. Oh, that's a good little whip in. He's looking to find Inman, but it just goes over, and it's going to go straight to the number 2, Trey Pemberton. As Pemberton clears, looking to find Drummond. And Rooney just heads that one away to find Drummond. Oh, and that's a good ball by Heathcote, and he's got
He's got Drummond charging into the boxes. Again, it's another little shove there, I think, Laura, on Inman there. He just slides down onto his knee there. I think we're going to see quite a lot of that this afternoon, aren't we?
Yeah, certainly. It's that, like, kind of invisible push that you can't really see as a referee, but certainly some contact there that caused Dean Inman to go down.
So it's going to be a corner here to Macclesfield. That's taken short. It's to Drummond now. And Rooney is on the edge of the box here. Still Rooney. He's got to try and get round Fadahunsi, though, and he can't. But it'll be another corner for Macclesfield. I think that's about the 4th corner now for Macclesfield. So keeping the pressure on the Beavers, but it's still level here in this 4th round tie as John Rooney is going to take this corner again for the Silkmen. That one's whipped in. He's looking to find Heathcote, but the Beavers just trying to clear that one away. It's still with Macclesfield. That was always... I think, not quite too sure what Rooney was going for there, Laura. Was he going for a shot, or was he trying to cross that one? And I couldn't make my mind up there. Yeah,
I'm not sure. He certainly tried to whip it in with the outside of his foot just to curve it towards that goal and ended up doing the complete opposite.
Yeah, our media man, Mark George, certainly thought it was a shot as well. I think he was absolutely right. So because of that effort, it will be a throw-in to Hampton Richmond on the near side, taking him by Dominic Ravan. And he finds Bloomfield to Fadahunsi now. But Fensom just clears it away. It's with Drummond now. Oh, and Drummond was just looking to find the run there of Neil Kengi, but it just goes out for another throw in the same position as about 30 seconds ago. And Dominic Ravan throws, but Laurent Mendy read that very well. Is Bloomfield going to win that? Oh, he certainly does. Oh, he comes on a big collision there with himself and Brandon Lee. As Paul Dawson just switches that one to Pemberton now. Pemberton, oh, he's going to drive one here. Straight at the hands of Adam Desbois. Good save from Adam Desbois. Adam Desbois kept a clean sheet on Tuesday, Laura. And obviously, with the penalty shootouts in this competition, we have to say, in this competition, Adam Desbois has done really well, hasn't he?
Yeah, certainly, and that was another fantastic save. It was at where he was, but it was struck with some pace, and that looked really dangerous for a minute, but you're very reassured by having Desbois in the net.
Yeah, he's an absolute shot stopper, Adam Desbois, and he's just proven himself there. So throw into Hampton and Richmond, just beneath the gantry here, just a bit further down towards the corner flag. Dominic Ravan to take this one. Finds the feet of Rob Hall. Rob Hall's going to dart forward into the box. Is he going to get a shot away? He does, but it's deflected well by Macclesfield. O'Connell just tries to dispossess Drummond, but Drummond does well to pass it out to Pemberton. Back with Drummond now. Heathcote. Pemberton. Back to Dawson. Baker now. Back to Mendy. Dawson, back to Fensom. Fensom's coming forward here now, and he's going to pass that straight out to the right-hand side for Pemberton, and then he's found Drummond there. Drummond's on the edge of the box. He's got a few Beavers to deal with, though, first. Still with Drummond. Drummond tries to switch that ball into the box. It's come out to Rooney. Rooney. Pemberton. Rooney's going to have another bite of the cherry here, is he? He's on the edge of the box. Back to Pemberton. Hampton and Richmond have just got to try and deal with this bit of pressure here. That's tried to swing into the box, but it's going to be another corner to Macclesfield. So Macclesfield are having a lot of joy on that far side, Laura, between Pemberton there.
Yeah, I think Wishart did really well to just get back and block that one and match the pace there. But I have to say, I think Kane Drummond is doing really well. Some excellent footwork on the edge of that box there. The Liverpool, I think former Liverpool Academy and Robbie Fowler Academy, in fact. But yeah, he's doing really well on that side, and he's certainly a danger for Hampton and Richmond.
You're full of facts today, Laura. This is what we love to see. Corner to be taken by Macclesfield. It's Rooney who's going to whip that one in. He's looking for Heathcote, but it's come straight to the feet of Wishart, who clears quickly. And it's straight back to the number 1, Dylan Berry. Berry looks to try and keep the pressure alive, and he kicks that straight back into the box. But it goes out, and Dre just allowed that one to go out for a goal kick to Hampton and Richmond. So far, Laura, of the two managers, Mel Gwinnett and Alex Bruce, who do you reckon would be happier right now with the way things are going?
I think probably Mel at this point. I think Hampton and Richmond have got themselves into a game which looked like it was kind of getting out of their grasp in the first few minutes, and they've done so really well to work their way back in, had some good chances, and I think Macclesfield and Alex Breeze will probably be slightly disappointed to not be a goal ahead at this point.
Yeah, so we've just now had over 34 minutes gone here at the Beverley Stadium in TW12, and it's still Hampton and Richmond 0, Macclesfield 0. Macclesfield and Hampton and Richmond having opportunities at either end to get themselves in front, but the score remains at deadlock. So this is going to be a throw-in now for Hampton and Richmond on the near side. Rob Hall and Dominic Ravan are there, and it's going to be Dominic Ravan again to take. So finds Fadahuntsi, just goes through his legs there, and Baker was there to retrieve. Baker tries to clear it, finds O'Connell. And Drea just coming under a bit of pressure there from Heathcote. Heathcote out to Dawson, to Pemberton. Oh, damn Wishart. Oh, that was... Oh, I'm not so sure about that one. Oh, we've got two Macclesfield players down now. I mean, I didn't see both there. Laura, what did you see there?
I saw the Dan Wishart challenge. I didn't see the one that was kind of off the ball. It's certainly it's a yellow card for Dan Wishart, that, and honestly, I'm quite relieved that it's nothing more, because it was a very late challenge and it looked high to me. Yeah,
Dan Wishart with the challenge there. I don't think he made any major contact, but it did look a little bit dangerous should he have made some major contact with Trey Pemberton there. And then Laurent Mendy was just down as well for the Silkman, but I didn't see what he went down for. But he's standing up now, he's absolutely fine, so can't have been anything too serious. But anyway, it's a free kick for the Silkman, and it's taken short and quickly, and it's back with Baker now. Baker to Lee. Lee on the near side, looking to find Heathcote, but Drea was there to intercept it. That's gone all the way back to Baker, who switches that to Pemberton, but he's got Pip Bilardo coming under a little bit of pressure with him. But it finds Menial. That's a good little 1-2 play to Pemberton. This is very good play from Macclesfield. Rooney to Pemberton. Is Pemberton going to get the ball into the box? Excellent defensive duties from Charlie O'Connell, the Peterborough United loanee, as it's another corner to Macclesfield, Laura.
Yeah, it was really well worked down that far side from Macclesfield, but once again, Hampton and Richmond putting everything on the line, and this time it's O'Connell who does really well to keep pace with that attack and block it for the corner.
So that's going to be, well, that must be now the 6th corner for Macclesfield, so this is their 6th attempt to try and get themselves in front here from a corner, from a set piece. And it's that man Rooney, whips it in, looking to find Heathcote. Heathcote gets there, but it just heads that one down, and Adam Desbois collects that one.
I have to say, to give an indication of Heathcote's height, I think he might be the tallest player on the pitch, and we do have the likes of Inman and Bloomfield on.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there, Heathcote. I mean, Laura, if you had to have a guess at his height, what would you say he was?
God,
6'5"?
Yeah, something like that. For me, anything's tall at 5'1".
Yes, and you have got yourself a nice little platform here, so, because apologies, I was blocking your view from that end there, so glad we got that resolved. So here come Macclesfield once again. It's the number 3 Brandon Lee on the near side here, and he's got Kengney there, and he finds Kengney, and he's got Ravan to try and deal with first. He's brought that into the box. Oh, and he's left that to try and find Heathcote, but Pip Bilardo was there to read it, and here come Hampton and Richmond now. But Macclesfield don't look light at the back here. Oh, that's a good challenge there from Trey Pemberton. It's going to be a Hampton Richmond throw. Macclesfield really showing their worth here in this competition. This is not going to be an easy game, that's for sure, as it's still 0-0 here at the Beverley Stadium, with a throw-in for Dan Wishart to take on the far side.
I think Hampton and Richmond have got to be happy with 0-0 at half-time at this point, but certainly chance to regroup in the second half. Now we've got a bit of a measure of Macclesfield.
Yeah, obviously, and where this is not a league game, of course, Laura, you know, the mentality and the tactics you go into a cup game are certainly different, because obviously, like I said at the start of the broadcast, there is no replay here. This will be going to penalties if the score is still level come the end of the second half. So it's now with the captain, Lewis Fensom. Goes out to Trey Pemberton on the far side. Macclesfield really showing that They should really be in a division above, Laura, shouldn't they, really, with the way they've been playing?
Yeah, certainly. I think when they walked out with the stadium jackets on, and I think that's always a sign of a team pushing to go higher in the leagues.
Yeah, there's certainly a few quid flying about at Macclesfield FC. And here's Pemberton now, and he just whips that ball in, looking to find Heathcote, and that ball just goes over. I think did it come off Sam Dreyer? No, it did. It did come off Heathcote, so it's going to be a goal kick to Hampton and Richmond.
I think Dreyer did just enough there to get in the way of Heathcote, came off the back of his head and skewed over the crossbar. So
Macclesfield, obviously, the last couple of years with the new ownership. There's obviously, of course, as we all know, new ownership here at Hampton and Richmond. And it's been over a year now since the new owners took over. And obviously Hampton and Richmond have certainly seen their fortunes changed. Hampton and Richmond in January last season, we were in the relegation zone, weren't we? We were not having a great time in the National League South, but since the new owners have come in, our fortunes have certainly changed, and Hampton and Richmond are in the playoffs as we speak, as Hampton and Richmond look to try and get promoted to the National League, which will certainly be a first for Hampton and Richmond in the history of the club. So Dan Wishart on the throw there to Tope Fadahunsi. Fadahunsi to O'Connell now. O'Connell just switches that to Revan, and that finds Bloomfield in the box there. Bloomfield back to Revan. Revan just crosses that ball in and looks to find Pip Blado. That's a good little head by Pip Blado, but it just goes over the bar for a goal kick to Macclesfield.
That cross slightly high from Revan there, and just Pip Blado struggling to get on it at that back post, but we know from the Truro City game that he's capable of those headers back across goal, and certainly had an impact in that game with the winner.
Well, yes, and you were obviously commentating on that game, Laura, and Pip Blado did get the winner, and he is a terrific And Laura, who do you see warming up beneath you there?
So I'm Ben Seymour. Certainly looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I think, would it be fair to say that we are going to see Ben Seymour this afternoon, do you think?
I certainly hope so. I think definitely if it gets closer and closer at 0-0, we'll be seeing him enter the field for potential of penalties, I guess.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, if it does go to penalties, Ben Seymour is probably your #1 choice to have on the pitch for that, as Ben Seymour is our top goal scorer at the moment in all competitions. So, this is O'Connell, but it's just dispossessed. And Rooney goes for the shot. Oh, that's a fantastic shot by John Rooney. Absolute driver going into the top, just underneath the woodwork. But Adam Desbois was there to save. Goodness me, Laura, what a strike.
Yeah, we laughed at him in the first half for attempting that shot with the outside of his foot that kind of flew off the sideline, but that one was hit so sweetly and just dipped below the crossbar. But Adam Desbois once more there to make that save and tip it over the crossbar.
Yeah, Macclesfield again looking for another fast start, as this is going to be a corner taken by John Rooney. That corner's swung in. Oh, and it's pinging around in the box. Don't quite know where it's going to go. And looks like a free kick's been given there, Laura, I think. So it's going to be free kick in the box there. And Adam Desbois will take this one for us.
Yeah, we just got a bit scrappy. I'm not sure whether there was a foul or whether it was a handball from Macclesfield. But luckily, from Hampton Richmond, the whistle did blow. And the crisis averted.
It certainly did. So Adam Desbois is going to get us underway here. That goal kick goes long, looking to find Rivan. Finds him instead, though. And this is Rob Hall. Rivan just charging forward, but it just goes out of play there, and it will be a throw into the Silkman on the far side. Looks like Brandon Lee will be taking this one. Goes long, looking to find Heathcote, but Dreyer gets there first. Just a bit of head tennis here, as it's now at the feet of Bloomfield. Hall. Oh, that's a nice little ball. Jake Gray's charging down onto this one. Is he going to cross that ball into the box? He's just on the edge of the box himself. He's found Bloomfield there, but he lays it off to O'Connell. Oh, and the shot's deflected by the #4, Lewis Fensham, and it's going to be a corner to Hampton and Richmond. That was a fantastic bit of play there, wasn't it, Laura?
Superb. I think they got away on the counter-attack, Hampton and Richmond, and found a bit of space. Jake Gray opting not to cross it, and I think it was the perfect decision to just cut it back. O'Connell was able to run onto it, and if it wasn't for that block, I think that would have been a very dangerous shot.
So, Rob Hall is going to take this one. He swings that in deep, looking to the back post, and Dreyer was there, but Dreyer just heads it wide. Goal kick to Macclesfield.
It was a really good header, just slightly wide of that far post in the end. But it was well taken, and I just think if we keep getting those opportunities and keep getting those corners, we can certainly challenge Macclesfield.
Yeah, so obviously coming into this second half, it remains 0-0. Both sides will be looking to change that in this second half. Wishart just clearing the lines there. Oh, the ball goes, nearly hit the camera there.
Some good goalkeeping from the cameraman.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Parried that away. So we are going to have a throw-in on the near side to be taken by Macclesfield, and it's taken quickly. It's now with the captain, Lewis Fensham. Baker back to Fensham. Fensham's looking to find Heathcote there. He's going to find him. That's a good ball into the box, but I think it was an offside call anyway. So it wouldn't have counted if anything was to come of that.
Just a few appeals there. I think Heathcote just a nibble at that ball as he ran away, and obviously that's meant to be a stricter penalty, but I don't think it was too much in it.
Yeah, the aerial threat of Sam Heathcote has already been shown in the first half, so he is certainly one to look out for. And if we look at the formation here, Sam Heathcote, Laura, he's isolated up. He's an isolated forward up there, and he's got Rooney behind him as well as Kane Drummond. So I think you're right. I think it was a 4-2-3-1. I think you were saying at the at the start of the first half. So formation remains the same for Macclesfield.
Yeah, Heathcote's certainly that focal point at the top for Macclesfield. But I think the pace of their winners, it makes complete sense to kind of have that tall player in the middle.
So, throw into Hampton and Richmond on the near side. Dan Wishart is taking this one right by the wet area. And that's headed away by Macclesfield. But it's Gray has just won that one back, and it's with O'Connell. Wishart. Wishart out to Dreyer. Dreyer tries to find Rob Hall, but it's intercepted well, but it's back with Dreyer again. Revan now on the far side. So Rob Hall, that's a good bit of link-up play. Still with Rob Hall now. Rob Hall's going to whip that in to try and find Bloomfield, but Fensham gets there first. Fensham again clearing the lines. Hampton and Richmond just need to keep this alive, this spell of pressure here. O'Connell now. But he's just lost the play there, and it's now back with Drummond. And both Macclesfield players just banging into each other there. And there's a bit of banging there between the players. And Kane Drummond is down here, and he's holding onto a shin there, Laura. He doesn't... So, free kick for Hampton Richmond on the far side, on the halfway line. Jake Gray standing over this one. And also, just to bring it back to that free kick there, Laura, Rob Hall again showing that footwork he's got. He's got that great trickery with his feet to draw in the foul.
Yeah, he's been absolutely superb and doing that so often in this match.
So Jake Gray goes long, looking to find Bloomfield. It's cleared well by the Silkmen, but it's now back with the Beavers. O'Connell out to Gray. Gray, he's looking to find Revan, but it was intercepted very well by Kengney. And here come Macclesfield. This is a good ball to Kane Drummond. Adam Debois has come out, and that was a good call from Adam Debois as he just heads that out for a throw-in. As Macclesfield will be taking this, and it's Trey Pemberton to take this one. He passes that straight over to Fensham, to Baker. Baker to Lee. Lee to Mendy. Mendy back to Baker. Baker looking to find Kengney there, but he's got two Hampton Richmond players to deal with, and Sam Dreyer had that covered, but it just comes off Dominic Revan, so they've just given away a corner here to Macclesfield. This must be possibly the 7th or 8th corner now for Macclesfield, Laura, so surely Macclesfield have really got to want to try and capitalise on this set piece.
Yeah, certainly. They've not had much luck with their corners so far, and we've got to hope it's going to stay that same way, but you do feel the more they have, the more likely they are to score.
So again, it's John Rooney's going to whip that ball in. He's looking for a Silkman player. And that's headed across the box. And Tope Falahunsi just sort of bicycle kicks that out of the box. It's still with Macclesfield, though, on the edge of the box. And Jake Gray is going to try and get it out, but it's now back with Kane Drummond. And there's shouts for handball. It's just picking around in the box. It's gone out for another corner. I think they were appealing for a handball there, Laura. Did you think it was a handball yourself?
It was pretty quick action, pinballing around in there to make comment on that one. I think I'd like to be a bit closer to make that judgment. It certainly hit something. Couldn't tell whether it was a body or a hand, though.
So it's another corner for the Silkmen. Rooney on this one. Whips that in deep. And it's in the back of the net. And I think that's come off a Hampton and Richmond player. It's an own goal from the Beavers. And Macclesfield find themselves 1 goal up here in the Isuzu FA Trophy.
It was whipped into a really dangerous position at that far post and just not cleared properly, pinballing around, and I think it was just tough to really get that clear.
Yeah, that was a really difficult one for Hampton and Richmond, and it is an own goal for Hampton and Richmond. So, still plenty of time here in this fixture between Hampton and Richmond and Macclesfield. And it's now Hampton and Richmond 0, Macclesfield 1. Goal coming in the form of an own goal. I was too busy looking at what I was seeing in the box to describe it, but as soon as it went in, I do apologise, everyone. I went silent, and I knew it came off a Hampton and Richmond player, but I didn't make out who it was. But Hampton and Richmond now find themselves 1 goal down.
Alex Bruce shouting from the touchline to get another one for Macclesfield, but we do know that Hampton and Richmond are strong from losing positions in this trophy.
You're absolutely right, Laura. As Hampton and Richmond came down from that losing position against Southend United. They were 2-0 down, if we all remember. Ben Seymour getting a goal in about the 70th minute. And then it was an own goal at the last moment of the 90, which got Hampton and Richmond back on level terms to send it to penalties. So it's going to be a throw-in now for Hampton and Richmond on the far side. Hampton and Richmond faithful, really starting to get behind the team now here.
I think if anything as well, Hampton and Richmond have looked better in this second half in comparison to Macclesfield. They've looked more positive, they've had more chances in these opening exchanges than we saw in that first half. So we're certainly not out of this by any means.
No, we're certainly not. And this will be a throw-in for Hampton and Richmond on the far side, and it's just dispossessed there, and it's Heathcote charging down onto this one now. He's got, and Heathcote's done well to get round here. He's just one-on-one on goal, and he puts it in the back of the net. It's 2-0. It's 2-0 to Macclesfield, courtesy of the number 9, Sam Heathcote. Hampton and Richmond have a lot of work to do here now. It's Hampton and Richmond 0, Macclesfield 2.
Yeah, really unlucky. I think Dean Inman just got dispossessed in a really difficult position from a ball over the top from Macclesfield. Wasn't able to deal with it, and it was Heathcote that got away, and he looks like the type of poacher that will put that one away. He broke free of the Hampton and Richmond back line, and he buried it in the bottom corner from around the edge of the box.
So, just as I was mentioning, Hampton and Richmond have come back from losing positions that you mentioned, Laura. Obviously, the Southend game, very similar story. But what happened at the Southend game? Hampton and Richmond got themselves back in it, and as you've just pointed out, Laura, and I think we're all expecting it now, there is going to be a couple of changes here for Hampton and Richmond, as you could argue it's not quite kitchen sink time, but it's certainly the time when you want to start putting a lot of emphasis on the attack.
I do think if Hampton and Richmond are able to get a goal back quickly, I think we're right back in this game, but we will need to make that happen quickly.
Yes, I think you're right, Laura. And we're going to see 2 changes. Oh, we might even see 3, actually, as we might have a debut appearance for Bailey Brown as well. So the first substitution for Hampton and Richmond coming off the pitch is number 13, Tope Fadahunsi, to replace by the number 9, Ben Seymour.
Fadahunsi potentially not had quite the impact he's had in some previous games here today, but certainly by no means has he's had some good link-up play and holding up that ball up at the top of the pitch.
So the second substitution now for Hampton and Richmond coming off the pitch is number 7, Rob Hall, to be replaced by the number 17, Connor Curran-Brown.
Rob Hall, that player that we've had so much praise for today. He's certainly been a thorn in the side of Macclesfield with his strong play on the ball.
And the final substitution for Hampton and Richmond in this passage of play here, coming off the pitch, number 25, Isaac Pitblado, to be replaced by the debutant, number 23, Bailey Brown.
Really interesting to see how the debutant Brown does. He certainly has a presence on the field, and I think that'll be great to see in this game.
So a lot of changes have just been made by Hampton and Richmond as they look to get themselves back in this tie in the 5th round of the Isuzu FA Trophy. As Hampton and Richmond are looking for a more attacking-minded team here.
Almost a brand new midfield on the pitch now with O'Connell and Brown.
Yeah, and obviously, and here come Macclesfield now. Macclesfield just spotted Adam Desbois, wasn't quite on his line there, but Desbois safely saved that one. So I think, Laura, it could be fair to say we might see this second half now quite interesting for Hampton and Richmond, as it's surely going to be all Hampton and Richmond. As here's Connor Curran-Brown, he whips out one. Oh, it is quite deep. A little too much on it for Jake Gray, but Jake Gray is just going to get there, and he kicks that one out for a corner ball. Intelligent from Jake Gray. Set piece for Hampton and Richmond here. They've really got to try and capitalise on this now, Laura.
Yeah, certainly. It's a really big opportunity, and I think they'll want to get that score closer than 2-0 as soon as they possibly can and bed these substitutes in, because obviously 3 changes can cause a little bit of unsettling, and they'll want to mitigate that as much as possible.
So, Jake Gray standing over this corner, whips that one in, looking for a Hampton and Richmond shirt, but it's defended well by the Silkmen. Dreyer collects. It's back to Wishart on the halfway line. Wishart comes forward himself. He's got a few options here. He's going to go out to Brown. Brown to Curran-Brown. Curran-Brown whips that one into the box. Is he going to find a Hampton and Richmond player? It just goes straight through. And here comes the number 7, Kengney. Caney to Mendy. Switches that to Drummond. Drummond heads that back to Pemberton. Pemberton to Fensham. Looks to find Drummond. That's a good head by Dan Wishart as Connor Curran-Brown does well to win the ball back now. O'Connell. Gray. Back to O'Connell. Nice little turn from O'Connell back to Dreyer. The two Peterborough United loanees linking up well here as it's back with Desbois. Desbois just playing that one short this time to Dreyer. And there was the match day attendance this afternoon, 1,480 here at the Beverley Stadium. So thank you very much to all those that have made the trip here this afternoon. And it's a free kick has just been conceded here by the Beavers. And it's a yellow card for Charlie O'Connell. That's 3 yellows now for Hampton and Richmond as the challenge on John Rooney there.
Yeah, just came in from behind and got a little bit of Rooney's leg on the way through, I think.
So Hampton and Richmond find themselves 2 goals down here at the Beverley Stadium. And it's just had over 64 minutes gone now, and it's Hampton and Richmond 0, Macclesfield 2. So a 2-goal deficit here for Hampton and Richmond. So Hampton and Richmond were to get 2 goals, this would go to penalties. So there won't be any extra time here, ladies and gentlemen. It will just go straight to penalties. And Deanham just coming under a little bit of pressure there. And there's another shot! Goodness me, another shot there from the number 9, Sam Heathcote. And Adam Desbois parries that out for a corner for the Silkmen. Another great shot by Sam Heathcote.
Absolutely struck fiercely with some real pace on that. You could fully see that burying into the bottom corner, but Desbois did so well to tip that round the corner.
So it'll be another corner taken by Wayne Rooney's brother John on the far side. Hampton and Richmond at this point cannot afford really to concede again here. So Rooney whips it in, that's gone very deep. Still alive though. Oh, and I think it got out of play anyway, so it's going to be a goal kick to Hampton and Richmond. Adam Desbois will be taking this goal kick for Hampton and Richmond, so no substitutions so far for the Silkmen.
There's got to be something in conceding the 2 goals quite near the start of the first half, second half, sorry, because it does really feel like there is time still for Hampton and Richmond.
You're certainly right, Laura, as Hampton and Richmond want to try and get themselves back into this game as quickly as they can. A goal, ideally as soon as possible, would get Hampton and Richmond straight back into this, but it's a free kick anyway for the Silkmen. And it'll be the captain, Lewis Fensham, to take. Finds Kane Drummond. Was looking to find Lee there, but O'Connell's able to win that back, but he's coming under a little bit of pressure from Drummond, and Drummond wins the ball. Drummond's charging forward, he's looking to find Heathcote on. Heathcote just couldn't quite get a touch on it. Macclesfield are really showing their quality this afternoon, Laura. Hampton and Richmond have got a bit of work to do.
It certainly feels like someone's just flicked a switch up front for Macclesfield, and it's all clicked into place in terms of just those threatening shots. In the first half, they certainly had their chances, but now every time they have a chance, it really looks like they could score.
So Adam Desbois plays it short to Desbois plays it short to Wishart, to Dreyer now. Dreyer to Gray, looked for the run of Revan, but was read very well by Lee. So it's a throw into Hampton and Richmond on the far side. Curran-Brown, Revan trying to find Curran-Brown, but it's blasted out by Baker. Then it's a throw into Hampton and Richmond.
So Drew Baker's just gone down under a bit of a challenge there and is on the floor, but being hauled up by Jake Gray. Yeah,
and I'm sure the Hampton and Richmond faithful are also cheering him to get up, I think, as Hampton and Richmond... Oh, well, I think the referee's just going to call over Baker here, actually. He's just going to have a little chat with him. Possibly about the challenge he was just faced there, but Here we go. It's going to be a throw to Hampton and Richmond on the far side. Dominic Ravan to take this one. Ravan to Curran Brown. And Rooney just absolutely thwacks that one clear. And Dreyer just gives Heathcote, just stops him there and all. There's a challenge there on Dan Wishart. He's down on the ground there and he's still on his knees here, which I think Jake Gray's just saying, referee, can we just go? He's saying, Wayne Cartmel, the referee, can you just come and have a look at Dan Wishart here? Because he is down. And even Adam Desbois is just going over to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, I think he was holding just the side of his knee there, but he's back on his feet now.
Yeah, that's good to see. So Gray just conducting the team here as they're all standing on the edge of the penalty box as Jake Gray's going to whip this free kick in. Good looking free kick, looking to find Bloomfield. Back to Gray though. Gray out to Wishart. Wishart, oh, straight in the face of Rooney, but here come Macclesfield now. It's Kengney here. He's got to deal with Wishart. Good cover from Dan Wishart, and it's back with Hampton and Richmond's number 15 as he tries to clear, and it goes out for a throw-in to Hampton and Richmond. Bailey Brown to take it quickly to O'Connell. O'Connell to Bloomfield. Oh, Bloomfield just slipping about there on the pitch, but O'Connell manages to rescue it. Curran Brown, bit of a heavy touch, and Macclesfield kick it away. It's with Mendy. Mendy out to Lee. Back to Drummond. Mendy. Mendy switching that to Pemberton. Pemberton to Kengney. Dawson. Baker, no, not Baker, sorry. Fansom. Fansom again. Goes for a long option, and Adam Desbois just calling to say that will be my ball. Game just needs to settle down a little bit for Hampton and Richmond here as they need to try and get themselves a goal here. I think, Laura, has to be fair to say the next goal has to be a Hampton and Richmond one. Oh,
absolutely. If they want to stay in this tie, I think Hampton and Richmond certainly need a goal here.
And that's the captain, Lewis Fensom, that just goes down there and he's holding his face. Referee's just going over to him here.
Certainly feels like a bit of tactics just to see by a bit of time here from Macclesfield. Yeah, the time management from Macclesfield is just being tested there. So we have 71 minutes gone here at the Beverley Stadium, and it's Hampton and Richmond 0, Macclesfield 2. First goal coming as an own goal from Hampton and Richmond. I didn't see who it came off, but it did come off a Hampton and Richmond player. And the second goal coming off the number 9, Sam Heathcote, who was one-on-one with Adam Desbois and put it in the back of the net. So Ben Seymour's charging down on this one. That's a good ball by Ben Seymour. He put Lewis Fensom under a bit of pressure there, and he nearly had an opportunity to get the shot away himself. But I think that's what we're going to need to see, Laura. Ben Seymour needs to be a real nuisance up there. Yeah, he's certainly doing that really well since his entrance, and exemplary there, just harrying the defender and wins it back. And sadly, it was too close to the goalkeeper that he was able to come and collect it. But if he keeps doing that, it's certainly going to lead to some chances for Hampton and Richmond. Goal kick goes long. Hampton and Richmond have a free kick here. Desbois will be standing over this one. Desbois goes long, looking to find Bloomfield. Oh, he finds Bloomfield. That's a good little ball. Can Bloomfield get the shot away? He does. Oh, really close. Really close for Hampton and Richmond to get themselves back in with a goal here. And it's deflected, and it's going to be a corner for Hampton and Richmond. What a strike that was, Laura, by Mason Bloomfield. Absolutely. It was really unlucky to take that deflection to see it over. But the build-up play as well, Bloomfield taking it down on his chest and just turning to open up that space, to give him that space for the shot. And it was what a shot it was. So Jake Gray standing over this corner. Can Hampton and Richmond capitalise and get themselves back in front? That's swung in, looking for Dreyer. It's come out to O'Connell. Can O'Connell keep it alive? He nearly does. And Drummond has the ball now. Can Hampton and Richmond win the ball back quickly? Dieneman's trying to charge down on Kane Drummond. That's a good challenge, but Kane Drummond just about
keeps it. No, and it's back with Macclesfield with Brandon Lee now. Heathcote, little nudge in the back by Dreyer. Still with Drag, using his strength against Mendy. Throw in for Macclesfield now.
Really did feel like Heathcote was using a bit of theatrics there, and the protest from the away bench, but I think he certainly did go down a bit easy. But for the referee to play on, you think that would be booking for simulation.
Yeah, I think you're right, Laura, but Hampton and Richmond have won it back now, and it's with Conacher and Brown on John Rooney. Thankfully. Intercepts. Thankfully, yes. Yeah, I think Wayne Rooney won't be at the Beverley this afternoon supporting his brother. So I believe he's vacant now with his managerial position, isn't he? Yeah. He's not. He was relieved of his duties at Birmingham City.
Maybe he does have the time to come and visit the Beverley.
Maybe he does. Maybe he is here this afternoon, or he's tuning in on Beaver TV. So, Mr. Rooney, if you are, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Or perhaps not, as it's 2-0 to the Silkmen. So Dainbois just takes that goal kick, and it's Kane Drummond that has it on the halfway line. Back to Baker, to Fensham. Pemberton now. Pemberton to Kengi. Kengi's got to try and deal with Dan Wishart, and he's just got the pace over Wishart. Kengi, he's going to switch that into the box, looking for, oh, that's a good shot. Oh, good opportunity there for Kane Drummond to really put the game out of sight for Hampton and Richmond, but he spews it over the bar. Goal kick for Hampton and Richmond. Bit of a let-off there, Laura.
Certainly a bit of a let-off there. I think he had the opportunity to put the game to bed, and we just all kind of breathed a sigh of relief as that one flew in the opposite direction to the goal.
So Adam Dainbois getting us underway with the goal kick. But it finds the head of Laurent Mendy first. Here comes Dawson now. Dawson's finding Kengi. Oh, it's really opening up here now for Macclesfield. Kengi here on the edge of the penalty box. Is he going to whip it in? He just gently passes that across the ground towards the penalty box. But Adam Dainbois gets there first. Now here come Hampton and Richmond now. Gray to Brown. Brown, that's a good ball to Curran Brown. Curran Brown, he's just brought down there by Lee. And yeah, that is going to be a free kick for Hampton and Richmond.
Yeah, good play by Curran Brown. Just, again, that footwork that we had from Rob Hall in the first half. Curran Brown's come on and brought that too. It just forced the trip there, and it's a really dangerous free kick position, actually, for Hampton and Richmond.
Certainly is, and Jake Gray, our skipper, will be standing over this one. So Hampton and Richmond have had a fair few free kicks themselves and a fair few set pieces here. And look, we've got the likes of Bailey Brown, who is a tall young man, so is Mason Bloomfield. Here comes the ball into the box, looking for Brown, but it's headed away by Macclesfield. Wishart is going to retrieve it. He's going to try and keep that one alive. Curran Brown, Revan, O'Connell. O'Connell whips that ball into the box, looking to find Inman. Pemberton clears. Kengi here. Bailey Brown can try and win that ball back, and he's done it courtesy with O'Connell. O'Connell's coming forward now. Back to Brown. And the captain, Lewis Fensham, just absolutely thwacks that, looking to find Heathcote. That's a good little ball to Drummond. This looks dangerous. Drummond on the edge of the box, looking to find Rooney. And Dreyer clears, looking to find Curran Brown now, but Dawson collects. Kengi now on the edge of the box. Again, Macclesfield not under any pressure here to try and put the ball into the box. Dawson. Still with Dawson. Back to Baker. Baker to Lee. Lee's charging forward now. Still with Lee. Lee's going to try and cross that one in. It's defended by Revan. I think, is it going to be a corner? It is a corner to the Silkmen. Hampton and Richmond are now slowly starting to run out of time here to try and get themselves back into the game, as we've had 78 minutes played here at the Beverley Stadium. It's Hampton and Richmond 0, Macclesfield 2. Hampton and Richmond, as it stands, bowing out of the FA Trophy here, courtesy of that goal from Sam Heathcote to put themselves 2 goals up. The corner is whipped in now by Rooney. too deep, and it's going to be a Hampton and Richmond goal kick.
Hampton and Richmond just in a bit of a lull at the moment, I think, and just slightly overrun by Macclesfield, but certainly chance to get that position back from this goal kick.
Yeah, Hampton and Richmond really need now to get themselves fully pressing in the Macclesfield box here. Oh, and there's, yeah, Laura, the sun really is setting in. There was Mason Bluefield now. Mason Bluefield's got an opportunity to get a shot away. Oh, it's really well defended by Brandon Lee. Corner ball to Hampton and Richmond. Well, well, well. Can Hampton and Richmond fashion up a chance here from this set piece?
I think what's quite noticeable about the Macclesfield back line is that they don't really fit the average profile of a defender that you might see at the non-league. Slightly more athletic, but they have done so well to get back and block shots like that one.
Taken short to Curran Brown. Pinging around in the box, but it's back out to Wishart. Wishart tries to find Inman as the sun is setting here and my eyes are blinded by the light. As here comes Kane Drummond now on the far side. Oh, he's made a massive run here, Kane Drummond. He's still going. Rooney's asking for it, but it just goes beyond Rooney, and Gray wins it now. Curran Brown. Curran Brown does a nice little job to turn. Is he going to keep it in? Oh, not quite. Just a little bit too much on it for Conor Curran Brown. Throw in to the Silkman. Kane Drummond there did a fantastic run, Laura. You almost thought he was going to go for a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. He did super well to break away down that left-hand side for Macclesfield, but I think in the end he was just shepherded by those Hampton and Richmond defenders, and the pressure made him place that shot just behind Rooney.
So Trey Pemberton will be taking the throw in beneath the gantry here on the near side. Oh, and the referee just shouted there, get on with it, which I think is true testament really, but here's Kengney with a shot, and Adam Desbois saves it very well. So the referee, I think, needs to keep a little eye here, because obviously in these cup competitions, you're going to try and run down the clock if you're Macclesfield, but Hampton and Richmond are going to try and get back into it. And I think a free kick's just been given there in the favour of the Silkman. And
that seemed very harsh from my perspective. I think Ben Seymour challenging just as equally. If anything, I'd say the Macclesfield defender was slightly pulling back Seymour at the start of that challenge.
And I think a comment you made at the start of the broadcast, Laura, with obviously this is a very changed side here. Hampton and Richmond have got quite a few injuries at the moment. You've got the likes of Jordan Thomas is out injured, George Hunt is out injured. There's a big injury list for Hampton and Richmond at the moment, and obviously we've got some new additions in here, but obviously this is O'Connell's second game, Bailey Brown's first, recent additions to the club, you know, and obviously it is, I think it's fair to say it is a bit of a challenge to try and gel as quickly as you can, and particularly this is such a pivotal game for Hampton and Richmond, so this is always going to be a tough ask, I think.
Certainly, and I think exemplary with the likes of Bailey coming on at 2-0 down. You want someone who can slot into that team straight away, but at the same time you're kind of bedding in a player at a moment where you just need your strongest team out there.
Certainly do, and obviously Macclesfield not too many changes themselves coming into this game off the back of that win at the weekend. So it's going to be a free kick now for Hampton Richmond, and Desbois is going to take this one, as we don't have long to go now in this FA Trophy tie. Just about 8 minutes left of regular time to play. Hampton and Richmond must get the next goal, it seems, to have any chance of staying in the tie. O'Connell to Gray. Gray's going to whip that ball in, but it does hit the back of Dominic Revan as Macclesfield just clear the lines, but Inman's there to collect. O'Connell, nice little flick on, finds Bloomfield. That's a good ball. Curran Brown now. That's an even better ball to Revan. Revan whips that into the box. Can Hampton Richmond still keep it alive? Curran Brown on the edge of the box, whips that one in. Baker clears. Back with Gray. Gray has it still. Curran Brown now. Crosses that ball in. Rooney deflects it. Throw into Hampton and Richmond.
I think we're having some good possession and good chances, but I think the quality of our balls into the box just isn't quite up to it at the moment.
It's going to be a throw in, another throw in to Hampton and Richmond. Jake Gray on this one. Passes it though to Revan to take, of course. O'Connell. Revan O'Connell is going to whip that one in. Who's there? Seymour's there, but Kengney absolutely clears that, and Desbois come well out of his box, and is he going to thwack this one clear? Sadly, a little bit of a slice on it. Bang, you might have just heard that on the top of the gantry, so you roughly know where that ball has been placed. So it's going to be a throw-in to the visitors.
I think he was lining that one up to kind of place it and then realised that Drummond was potentially a little closer than he first thought and just had to clear his lines.
So Pemberton takes the throw. Mendy, Rooney, Drummond. Drummond on the edge of the box. Kengney, back to Rooney. Drummond. And then it's just dispossessed, but it's now with Dawson. Mendy. Mendy looking to find Kengney. He does. Curran Brown. Surely not. And that's going to be a free kick to the Silkman. I must say, I think Curran Brown did absolutely nothing wrong there. And Kengney is just stretching his toes here, and I think we might see a substitution potentially for the Silkman. Oh, it's a bit of cramp for Kengney. Bit of game management as well, coming courtesy of Macclesfield. And I think there is going to be a substitution, yes, for Macclesfield. The first one of the afternoon. Looks like it's the number 14, Alex Hurst, who will be coming on. But he won't come on just yet, I think, because I think this free kick is going to be taken first. So it's Rooney standing over this one. Rooney whips that one in, and it safely in the hands of Adam Desbois. So here come Hampton and Richmond, and that's a good goal kick by Adam Desbois, looking to find Ben Seymour, but dispossessed straight away by Lewis Fansom. Fansom now. Kengney. Curran Brown wins it back. Curran Brown out to Gray. Oh, and it's well read by Mendy, but Dreyer collects. O'Connell now. Looking to find Bloomfield. That's a good ball. Bloomfield, can he bring it? Oh, not quite. Too many Silkmen at the back.
I think Macclesfield really just trying to sit back and protect their lead here. And you can see that by the fact that their number 9 poacher, Heathcote, has dropped into that back line for a third man in the defensive line there.
Yeah, and as you say that, Laura, the substitution will now be made for the Silkmen. So coming off the pitch, number 7, Neil Kengi, to be replaced by the number 14, Alex Hurst.
Certainly be a slow walk off the pitch for Kengi. And substitution is obviously a good game management tactic for the side that is ahead. Yeah,
absolutely. Potentially, Laura, do you reckon we'll see a few defensive bolstering for Macclesfield?
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't be surprised. They seem to be employing their own number 9 just for that bit of presence. I was kind of talking about how their defensive composition isn't your typical at non-league, and I think they've gone for that with their number 9 strongman.
So it's going to be a throw-in on the far side, and it's gone to the Macclesfield fans, and the Macclesfield fan is taking his time to give it back to Brandon Lee. So obviously, referee making full note of these additions here. And it's has gone out for a corner to Macclesfield now. We're in double digits now for Macclesfield in terms of the corner count. And I think potentially we are going to see another substitution for Macclesfield. Yeah, we certainly are. So it looks like coming on the pitch for Macclesfield, it's going to be the number 13, Connor O'Keefe. And Wayne Rooney's brother, John Rooney, I think is going to make way here. Oh no, I do apologise, it's not the number 13. The substitution board is just wrong there. It's going to be Adrian Thibault that will be coming on. But I've not been paying attention to what's going down on the corner flag here. The referee's going to, he's going to book John Rooney here. Rooney just goes to the referee's book, I think, for a bit of time management there. So the corner kick's taken right down from the corner flag, and obviously, look there, it is just being kept at the corner flag for as long as they can. It's gone out for a throw into Hampton Richmond.
And the ball is in the crowd and being kept there for as long as possible now.
Well, and that's fine, Laura, so long as it's being the time's being added on, so I have no issue with that so long as it's being added on. So yes, coming off the pitch now for Macclesfield is number 10, John Rooney, and he'll be replaced by the number 12, Adrian Thibault. So Dominic Ravan is waiting to take the throw in as the brother of Wayne Rooney, John, is making way. Just waiting for the substitution to take place. So John Rooney has come off. And Adrian Thibault has come on. So here we go. Dominic Ravan with the throw. He goes straight back for Desbois with this one. Back to Ravan. And that's gone out for another throw-in for Hampton and Richmond. The referee is just checking his watch there, so I think he is. I think the referee, fair to him, is taking a note of these additions. So
certainly doesn't seem impressed with some of the tactics. So.
No, I think you're absolutely right, Laura. Hampton and Richmond certainly need to try and get the next goal. Oh, we've had the full 90 apparently. Indeed we have. And there will only be an additional 5 minutes here.
That feels relatively low, given we
Yeah.
had 3 in the first half for one stoppage, really.
Yeah, certainly does. And here's Trey Pemberton, right down by the corner flag. And it goes out for a Hampton and Richmond throw. So it does look like it would seem Hampton and Richmond are bowing out of the FA Trophy here at the Beverley Stadium. After a good cup run, Hampton and Richmond obviously beat Cray Valley in an emphatic 5-1. And then obviously we travelled to Southend United and won on penalties and knocked out the National League side. And obviously we had that big away day, as we all remember, going to Hartlepool, where we again won on penalties after a 0-0 scoreline at the end of full time. Thank you again to everyone that's tuning in on Beaver TV, as you will see in the comments of the video, to join the newsletter, where you'll find all Hampton and Richmond news of all variety and nature in the newsletter, so please do subscribe. So that goal kick just taken short to Adam Desbois. And it's with O'Connell now. O'Connell back to Bloomfield. Ravan switches that to Wishart. Still with Wishart. Still with Wishart now. He looks to find Ben Seymour, but the captain, Lewis Fensham, finds that one. Looking to find Adrian Thibault. Thibault's charging forward to the box, and Dan Wishart collects it now and just looks to find Bailey Brown, which he does. Bailey Brown out to O'Connell. O'Connell to Gray. Ravan, sorry. Dreyer, Gray, back to Desbois. Inman now, looking to bring that forward to Bailey Brown. Goes out for a Hampton and Richmond throw. Bailey Brown takes that one quickly. Connor Curran-Brown trying to win it back at the corner flag here, but oh, he has done well there, Connor Curran-Brown. Oh, and then Fensham just goes down, and it's a corner.
It looked like he was trying to win the foul there, just quite a theatrical bow almost to go down under pressure, but referee points straight to the corner flag. He was under no doubt.
Hampton and Richmond need to score this to have any chance of getting back into this game. Gray whips it in. O'Connell's on the edge of the box here. Curran-Brown whips it in. Is he going to find a Hampton Richmond player? Bailey Brown's there, and it's safely in the hands of Dylan Berry.
It looked like a dangerous ball there to that back post. There was the likes of Bloomfield, but just didn't quite hit the head of any of them, and Berry was able to collect.
And then the final substitution for Macclesfield is about to be made. I think it looks like the number 15, Luke Murphy, will be coming on. But Hampton and Richmond have it here. Dreyer out to Bloomfield, but it just goes out for a Macclesfield throw, and here comes the substitution. So coming off the pitch for the visitors, number 8, Laurent Mendy, to be replaced by the number 15, Luke Murphy. So it doesn't look like we're going to see a Premier League player, ex-Premier League player, on the pitch this afternoon, as I don't think Danny Simpson is stripped off to come on.
Sure, he'll do a nice lap at the end so that he can enter the pitch of the Beverly.
Yeah, I think he will. As it does look like Hampton and Richmond will be bowing out of this cup competition. It was a good run for Hampton and Richmond, it has to be said, as Thiebaud looks to try and go forward here, but Connacher and Brown tries to come away with it, and the referee just asked Connacher and Brown to pull that one back, because it's going to be a free kick for Hampton and Richmond, as this really is last chance saloon for Hampton and Richmond. Kitchen sink, throwing absolutely everything at it as Desbois looks to find Bloomfield. But it's headed straight away out to Kane Drummond, and that will...
It's been given offside.
And has been given as offside, yeah. I thought the referee was going to blow for full time there, but no. So Gray takes this one short to Wishart. Wishart has surely got to put this in the box. He does, but it meets the head of a Silkman. O'Connell's going to win that, he does. Can Connacher and Brown win that? It's back with Dreyer. Bailey Brown, defended well, Wishart. And that will be it here at the Beverly Stadium as Hampton and Richmond conclude their journey in the FA Trophy as they are bowing out here at the Beverly Stadium. It ends Hampton and Richmond 0, Macclesfield 2. First goal came in the second half, courtesy of an own goal, sadly, for Hampton and Richmond. I didn't quite see who it came off. And the second goal, a well-worked goal by Macclesfield, and Sam Heathcote, the number 9, put Macclesfield 2 goals to the good, which ultimately sent Macclesfield through to the quarter-finals of the FA Trophy, as Hampton and Richmond sadly end their trophy campaign here. Laura, Macclesfield, credit to them, had a really good game this afternoon. Hampton and Richmond just couldn't find that clinical edge to get themselves in the game. Yeah,
certainly. I think Macclesfield looked like a really strong outfit, to be honest, watching them, and I certainly wouldn't be surprised to see them in and amongst the promotion hopefuls in their league, and to be promoted I'd fully expect them. I think they do pretty well in the National League North, so I don't think it's discredit to Hampton and Richmond. And to say all the injury problems, we spoke about it during the game, but I think what it came down to in the end for Hampton and Richmond was those final balls just weren't connecting as they might do in those games where there is a more settled team, where those link-ups are more embedded. And honestly, it was a pretty resilient effort. There was 10 minutes maybe in that game where we conceded those 2 goals, but other than that, it was a solid performance from Hampton and Richmond. And whilst it'll be disappointment now, I don't think they should be too downhearted going forward. No, and I think it has to be safe for Hampton and Richmond that, like I said, there's a big injury list for Hampton and Richmond at the moment. We've had O'Connell in the side, who's a new signing this week. Bailey Brown, of course, is another new signing this week. So obviously they haven't had the time to get the real preparation in, I guess you could say. Obviously Mel Gwinnett comes into this game fully prepared, but obviously it isn't a long amount of time for a player to settle in at the club. So you could say, I think the team did their absolute best this afternoon, but sadly couldn't get the result that we needed this afternoon. So it does finish here, Hampton and Richmond 0, Macclesfield 2. And Laura, at this point, would you like to read out the final results in the FA Trophy for me, please? So as I said earlier, Bishop Stortford Coalville Town has been postponed. It ended Bromley 2, Aveley 0. In that fixture, Chorley 1, Solihull Moors 3, Hampton and Richmond 0, Macclesfield 2. Hereford 0, Gateshead 1, Peterborough Sports 1, Kidderminster Harriers 0. Wealdstone versus Hendon was postponed. And then Welling United fell to a 3-0 defeat at home to Barnet.
So there we have it. Hampton and Richmond sadly bow out here of the FA Trophy here at the Beverys Stadium. Hampton and Richmond's next game will be at home to Farnborough, I believe, or Aveley, I think it might be actually, home here next Saturday. So hopefully get to see as many of you down here as we can. Thank you to those that are joining on Beaver TV this afternoon. I've been your lead commentator, Jonny Luter.
I've been your co-commentator, Laura Howard.
Thank you very much for tuning in this afternoon, everyone. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.